The journey of self-love has 3 steps: self-awareness, self-acceptance, and self-accountability. We talked about this in the last video. Now, the important thing is that we have a clear understanding of what it means when we say self-awareness. Because I noticed something when I was an English teacher. A lot of us have an idea of what the English language means, but truth be told, we don't understand the denotation, the dictionary definition of words. So we go about our life misunderstanding a lot of topics, and I just got to bring more clarity to the situation. So this is me being self-aware, knowing the impact that I have on others, because I was a phenomenal English teacher and I still am a great teacher. So I'm here to teach. So we're going to really break down self-awareness today, so that we can see ourselves not with this foggy, hazy glass of biases, judgment, and subconscious patterns. We're going to Windex this thing today so we can really get a clear indication of who we are, and more importantly, how to continue seeing ourselves clearer and clearer so that we can gain our power back. Because if we don't know that we have power, then we are letting it go. And that's not where I want for us. I've gained a lot of power through self-awareness, through self-love, and this is me teaching it to you. So I'm glad to have you here. If you have never been here, if you haven't seen any of the previous videos, my name is Trevor Taylor. I'm a yogi, I'm an educator, I am a speaker, I'm a content creator, and truth be told, I really just want to see everyone around me be a better version of themselves. Having gone to therapy a few different times, having 2 different amazing therapists who have helped me along my journey, having spiritual teachers, mentors, a lot of experiential wisdom, and a just true lover of books. I love to study other people's stories as well as learn from my own. And then I also find my fascination of psychology, neuroscience, and all my interest about just things and humans. I think we're pretty interesting like beings. So I kind of compile all this with my love for yogic philosophy and share my thoughts on how to live a better life. More importantly, some of the things I've learned along my journey of how to get here, how I've made it through some of my darkest days, primarily using movement, mindfulness, and meditation. But we're going to talk about some of that today. So I want to welcome you in, and we're just going to dive right in to understanding, first of all, what is self-awareness? And self-awareness is this simple, it's this opportunity or the ability to see yourself, see your values, see your beliefs, your habits, your emotions, your thoughts, your feelings. If you are able to see these patterns within yourself, ideally not in retrospect, but in the moment, in the present moment, right? When you start to realize that you're getting excited and you know that you're getting excited. If you're starting to get agitated with someone, but you are seeing it happen, this is a beautiful example of self-awareness, and that's our aim, so that we can have more control, more power over our lives, rather than just being ran by our subconscious mind or our autopilot. So we'll talk more about that. The other aspect, and please, if you have a note or you have a journal, like jot down notes, pause the video, like enjoy this, soak it up, and watch it a couple times, because I'm giving you a lot of things that I know have worked not only for myself, but for my community and my people around me. Like I see their lives getting better, and I'm like, yo, these are just things that I dished out to you, or that they're passing to me. And I'm like, wow, this really does work. I want to share this with others. So take notes, practice it for yourself, share with other people. So within this, and yes, I have a few notes. I want to make sure that we kind of stay on track. I get excited talking about this stuff, man. Today, we're going to cover self-awareness versus self-consciousness, why self-awareness is so important, and my 3 ways that I really suggest that that can really help you to develop self-awareness. So I think we've already kind of touched on self-awareness and self-consciousness, but self-awareness is being able to see yourself, and self-consciousness is being able to see the impact that you have on others. The latter is where the people pleasers tend to stay when they have a lot of self-awareness or self-consciousness, and the ones that people refer to as assholes they have a lot of self-awareness, but lack self-consciousness. So these are both pivotal aspects of balanced self-awareness. When you realize, I know who I am, well, in this hand, I know the impact that I have on other people, but I'm not overly thinking about what other people think about me. And then I also understand who I am and what makes me who I am. Some of the patterns, both negative and positive, both healthy and unhealthy. So I can then make more conscious decisions about how to find balance between these two and then grow in both areas. So this is the intention for building self-awareness, to see yourself as you are and to see the impact that you have on the world around you through your actions. So it's important to build self-awareness because you and I are very powerful beings. But if we don't realize the power that we have, we can be really destructive. I know. I've destroyed many relationships with amazing women because I had destructive patterns that I was not aware of. Understanding these things about myself has helped me not only thrive in my current relationship, but to be a strong leader in it. Because I'm aware of myself and the impact that I have on others. So it's key to your relationships. If you share a life and share a home with somebody, I hope you realize the impact that you have on others. And I hope that you're aware of yourself enough to tell them how you feel, or at least to know how you feel and what thoughts are on your mind and what your values are and what your beliefs are. Because if you don't know these things, then the person that you're sharing a life with has no idea who they are with. Because you keep switching it up. It's not fair to them. It's not fair to you. It's not fair to the children if there are children involved. Building up self-awareness is key to the importance of your relationships and your community, which we cannot live without because isolation, loneliness, and lack of connection is what's killing our nation right now. We've talked about this. This is how you do your part. It's also important for self-awareness. No, I got a little passionate there. I love you, but this is serious stuff. This is serious stuff. You make better decisions. Simply put, you make better decisions when you are understanding who your autopilot is. What I mean by autopilot, your subconscious mind, it is the one who is there to help you make decisions when you may not necessarily be aware of what's going on, right? So I could really get into the autonomic nervous system, the parasympathetic nervous system, and the sympathetic nervous system. But truth be told, in simplified way, your nervous system is what brings about thoughts, feelings, emotions. And if you aren't in a relaxed state, then you are in your fight or flight. Your sympathetic nervous system is activated and you're going to make decisions typically from a point of stress, not a point of clarity or a relaxed state, or your parasympathetic nervous system, So the focus is to know when it's okay to be relaxed and be chill, but not be disassociated. And then also be aware of the times when it's okay to be a little stressed, because stress is not a bad thing. It's about acute stress versus chronic stress. But a part of self-awareness is, do you know what stresses you out? Because if you don't know what stresses you out and you don't know what it feels like to be stressed, then guess what? You're walking around stressed, telling everybody you straight, and you're not. Self-awareness. Understand the thoughts, patterns, feelings, behaviors that we have so that we can make better decisions for ourselves. And ultimately live a life that you're proud of. Because whatever things that you're reaping in this season, You planted those seeds, and it may not have been intentional. So you may not like what your life looks like right now. But self-awareness helps you see the role that you play in your own suffering. And it's not an easy truth. The ego hurts. It hears that and it's like, oh, what? I'm not the victim, but I did this to myself? Ugh. Ouch. How could you? It's the truth. I'm not saying the whole thing was on you, but you played your part. Now, if we can realize that the part that we played was because we weren't in the driver's seat, but we were letting something else be. Our autopilot was taking us in a direction. All it was doing was repeating patterns because it was familiar with that. It can't make a decision for us that will break the pattern. You do. So that's the importance of self-awareness. Now, we've covered the difference between self-awareness, self-consciousness, the importance of self-awareness and why we need it, right? It impacts our relationships. We make better decisions. And ultimately, we can live a life that we're proud of. But how do you build self-awareness? There's 3 things. Grab a journal, grab a pen, write down your thoughts. I was an English teacher. Write down your thoughts. Free write. I used to call the first draft the sweetest draft possible. And my students understood that when I said write your sweet draft, I meant the one that was full of sugar, honey, and an iced tea. All right. It's supposed to be a little shitty. It might not be grammatically correct. Punctuation might be a little off. Spelling might be a little hit or miss. Even the writing may be a little like handwriting. You might try to read it again and think to yourself, this is a hot mess. Good. Because in your head, it's a hot mess. But if it doesn't go somewhere else, it stays a hot mess in your head. But if you put it on paper, you kind of gave it a little order. And now you can look at it again and practice self-awareness. You can see your thoughts, feelings, and emotions on paper because it came from your head, went through your hand, through your heart, maybe even out your mouth a little bit. I can't stand these Let it all out. Look at it without judgment so that you can be aware of yourself, gaining clarity on what's happening on the inside and realizing that that's not who you are. That's just what your mind is painting right now. The second thing, movement, yes, yoga for sure. Here's my argument behind it. Yoga asana, the third limb of yoga, is primarily about matching your breath and your movement. So you taking in more air with intention for your breath, and then maybe even holding it at the top gives your body an opportunity to absorb more oxygen, giving you your whole body, your whole system, brain, digestive system, your bloodstream, everything is turned up because you're giving it more oxygen. Primarily while you're secondarily while you're doing that, guess what? You're working your muscles, you're strengthening your muscles, you're practicing balance, you're gaining flexibility. So you do that for an hour, right? Do that a couple times a week, right? Slowly but surely, your mind and body connection begins to build, having a better understanding of what you like. You're back connected with your body. You feel like a kid again, right? So practice yoga, practice movement, but practice yoga. And now, the last but not least, the third, and maybe one of the most powerful pieces, meditation. Meditation is a practice of being still physically and mentally. Not even still mentally, but seeing the mind. So what I like to say is do these things in order. This is how I started in college. I would journal, or I would practice yoga. So I was a little off, right? I would practice yoga, go into the park, journal, and then I would pray with my roommates, as a matter of fact. This time I want you to do it the other way because this is what yoga has taught me. Move the body, just kidding. Journal and get your thoughts on paper. Go from the journal to the mat, move your body. And while you're moving your body, you might even notice some more thoughts. Then, once that feels a bit more clear and prepared to sit down for a couple minutes in a comfortable position, and then notice even more thoughts and feelings, but you might notice that they're not as chaotic as they once were. And then now, having a clear viewpoint of your mind, you have a better understanding of who you are. You have a better chance at putting some pieces together, getting a better understanding of patterns, and then doing some of the work so that you can truly begin to see who you're dealing with. Your worst enemy is not someone outside of you. Your worst enemy is the conditioned mind that doesn't know that it is not in control. Regain control of your life by gaining self-awareness. Because if you can clearly see who you're up against, you'll be able to turn the enemy into your best friend and co-pilot, helping you live a more peaceful, happy, healthy, and loving life. When we say honor your sanctuary, this is what it is. You got to walk through the door. You got to look at your mind and body and determine for yourself, okay, what am I working with? So I'm thankful that you're along this journey. I'm thankful that you found this video, and I hope that you will give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you already aren't. And more importantly, if you found that this was meaningful in any way, share this with a friend, share this with family, share this with a coworker. But you being willing to share this with somebody, even if it's uncomfortable, could make a slight change in their behavior. And if you can be a part of that journey by just saying, hey, I sent a video, I don't know, I might have had some advice on it that might help you out. Maybe we can talk about it together. That gives an opportunity for conversation to be had. That's not just about traumas, but it's about how to heal from our traumas. So it's been a blessing. It's been an honor. Thankful for this time. By the way, if you're curious about this sweater, it comes from a Black-owned clothing company from a beautiful Black family in Denver, Colorado. The store is called Lawrence and Larimer. And you can find them online on Instagram. I follow them too. They have some dope pieces, man. They're really just amazing people. This is high quality. This piece is like 4 years old. Still holding strong. And honestly, even if you're in Denver, just swing by there, tell them I said what's up, tell them I sent you, and just show them some love, man. They even got some live candles, by the way, with some crazy names, all right? And they ain't pay me for this. They don't even know I'm saying this. I told you, this piece is old. I just really love it, and it's still Black History Month. So, grateful to be liberated through love with you. Go about your way. Continue to love yourself. Stay tuned for part 2. And yeah, looking forward to hearing from you soon. Throw some comments in there too, please, because I got to come back with part 3. Next week, we're going to talk about self-acceptance and the truth about what that looks like. All right, take care of yourself. Honor your sanctuary. Know that the light in me honors and loves the light in you. And until next time, namaste. Peace.